Alright, we're going to start with the salivary system, which is located generally here in the mouth. It helps with digestion because it is where chemical digestion starts. The saliva starts to break down food by wetting it down, and it helps it get down the throat. There are incisive ducts, which are here right behind the incisors, where saliva is secreted. And the top of the mouth are the canines, and the incisors and the canines are used for breaking down meat and food, and they're so big because cats are predators. And here we have the premolars, and when you go farther back you can see the molars, which are also used for crushing down food. Now, as we go down, the cat swallows the food. We have the esophagus, which is where food gets swallowed down from the throat, and the trachea, which is where air goes down, because here in the throat, food and air goes down the same passageway. We have the epiglottis, which makes sure that no food gets into the lungs and you don't get any air in the stomach. And the tongue helps get the food into little balls and send it down. And in cats, it's also used as a grooming tool because of these little barbs here. Now, as we continue down, the esophagus goes down here to the cardiac sphincter, which is located down here below. It's not visible, but it's right here under the liver, and it's used to make sure that there's no backflow of food from the stomach. And here is the stomach, and it's used to digest food physically and chemically. It has gastric rugae, which are little ridges which help increase surface area so the stomach can digest more. And in the stomach we have bile, and our cat has worms as well, roundworms. Alright, and from the stomach we go down to the small intestine, which is all of this, and it has three sections which go in this order: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. And here, where the small intestine attaches to the large intestine, is called the cecum. And in a human you would find an appendix here, but cats don't have that. And the large intestine goes down. It's where the digested food stays. It's basically feces at this point, and any excess water absorbs back into the body. From the large intestine we have the rectum, where feces are stored until the cat passes them. And here is the anus and the anal glands, which are used for marking territory. In this case, this is a male cat, and they also secrete a really strong smell when a cat gets scared. And now we're going to move back up here to the liver, which is this big lobed organ here. The liver produces the bile I showed you in the stomach here, and that aids digestion. Now we're going to move on to the respiratory system, and the trachea, I pointed out earlier, is right here, and it has these little rings of cartilage which help keep it together so it keeps its form for the air to go through. This is the right lung, and this is the left lung. And the diaphragm is this big muscle here that kind of holds it all in and expands and contracts with the cat. And the kidneys, there's two of them, are under here. They're kind of blue colored in this. They regulate the liquid and produce the components in urine. And The bladder is this right here, and it basically stores urine, again, until the cat is ready to pass it. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the circulatory system. This is the heart, and inside the heart we have the right atrium, and the blood travels down through the bicuspid valve to the right ventricle where it leaves the heart, and then when it returns it goes through the left atrium, through the tricuspid valve and the left ventricle. And those are the systems of the cat.